The story you're about to hear is called Broccoli Time, which is also the name of my book. One night, I was watching the evening news, and I saw a story about how to get your toddler, your 2 to 3-year-old, to try broccoli for the first time. This was how to get a small child to eat broccoli for the first time. The advice they gave was to cook a little bit of broccoli, a small serving of broccoli every night and put it on your child's plate. But don't say anything. Don't say, look, that's broccoli. Don't say, eat that broccoli. Don't say, if you don't eat that broccoli, you're not going to get dessert. Don't say anything. Just put it there and leave it there. The toddler, your child, will not eat broccoli the first time they see it because to them it looks disgusting and it smells bad. So the suggestion was to do this every night for a month, which I thought was ridiculous, but every night for a month. Cook a little bit of broccoli and put it on the plate. That way, the child, the toddler, will become accustomed to having the broccoli on their plate and become more comfortable with the idea of broccoli, and then will try it on their own. When they're comfortable enough, they'll say, well, this broccoli has been there for every night for the last month. It's not a threat to me. It hasn't caused me any damage. I'm going to go ahead and try it. That was the advice that I got from this show, from this news program. I decided to take that theory and apply it to parenting. Okay, so I took the broccoli, the idea of cooking the broccoli every night, putting it on the plate, applying it to parenting. My daughter, Dylan, was 14 at the time. And if you have a 14-year-old daughter, you know that there's very little in common between a father and the 14-year-old daughter. The only time that I ever saw a father with their 14-year-old daughter having a close relationship is when there was some kind of a strange sports connection, like the dad was the coach of the softball team and she was the pitcher, or the dad was her golf buddy and she was on the golf team. Other than that, I didn't see any one of my daughter's friends' fathers having a relationship with their daughter. So what I decided to do was I was going to treat my relationship with Dylan as if it were broccoli. I became the broccoli. So what I decided to do was the next time she came out of her room and she sat down on the couch to watch TV, by herself, I was going to sit on the other end of the couch and not say a word and just sit there for as long as she would tolerate it. And then when she was done watching, she would get up and walk away. I wouldn't say a word. I wouldn't say, hey, look, I'm sitting next to you. Or I wouldn't say, well, what's going on in the show? No, I was going to be the broccoli. And Dylan came out of her room that night and sat down to watch The Real Housewives of New York. And I told her, I said, look, Dylan, this is the story. This is the whole story. And she said, okay. I told her all about broccoli time. And I said, okay, I'm going to sit on the edge of the couch. You're going to sit over there. I'm not going to say a word. It's broccoli time. So she said, fine. She was cool with that. And the next night, the very next night, so we watched the show. The show ended. Dylan got up just like I thought she would, went back to her room, didn't say a word. The next night, I was in the kitchen. Dylan came out of her room. She was on the couch. She looks over the couch. Remember, this is my 14-year-old daughter. She looks over the couch. She looks at me. She sees me in the kitchen, and she goes, broccoli time? So I said, yes, broccoli time. Now, if you go in, I'm going to talk to my director here. Go into that bookcase. There's a drawer, the top drawer of that bookcase. Open it up, and there's a drawing there. Do you see a drawing, a black and white drawing of a penguin? Hand that to me, please. The next day, after broccoli time, the second time I had broccoli, I saw Dylan drawing this picture. She drew it freehand. She did not look at a design or anything. She just drew this, from her mind. And I thought, wow, that's a really good drawing. She handed it to me, and she said, this is broccoli. She named this penguin broccoli. And I've kept it ever since because my 14-year-old daughter made this for me and kept it for me. One other piece of information about broccoli time, and then we'll be done with the story. I saw a report on 2020 about kids who are addicted to video games or addicted to social media. They focused one section on this boy, a 15-year-old boy, who did nothing but play video games all day, all night. The kid wasn't even going to school. He was in constant conflict with his parents, and nobody could get through to him. Eventually, they sent him away to some camp, like in the desert, like in Nevada or something, where he had to learn to live off the land, be unplugged for 2 weeks. And I knew that wasn't going to work. I knew that as soon as the kid came back, he would go back to video games. What I would have said, if I was advising this kid's parents, I would have said to the father, look, Dad, what you need to do is you need to take a chair, and when your son's playing video games in his room, you need to plant the chair right next to him and be the broccoli. Not say a word, not do anything, not, say, hey, turn off the game, or you're playing too long, or anything. Just sit there and do that every night for a month, and eventually your son or daughter, whatever, will become accustomed to having you close by and will begin to feel more open in having a relationship with you because of this time that you've spent sitting there in the chair next to him, watching the video game, doing exactly what he's doing, and will then become more comfortable accepting your rules. So when you say, okay, now you need to turn off the game. Now you need to turn off the game and go to bed. The kid will do that, in my opinion. The kid will do that once he gets to that level of comfort with you as a father because of the broccoli time. I can come up with some other examples, but I think you get the gist. Don't forget to read my book, which is called Broccoli Time, available now on Amazon Books, the best parenting book you will ever read.